A new poll today shows that Floridians are still very untrusting of Obamacare, and we know that Florida declined federal money to expand Medicaid. What other steps do you expect you might have to take, perhaps in a second term, to deal with this law?
Well, it's frustrating because Obamacare is a bad law. In my first year in office, we did historic Medicaid reform. Charlie watched what was happening when he was governor. Medicaid, the cost of Medicaid for the state taxpayers was growing at 3+ times our general revenue growth, and he sat on his hands and did nothing about it. My first year, we did historic Medicaid reform. Now, our taxpayers can afford what we have. Our recipients have somebody responsible for their care. But Charlie's all in for Obamacare. He says it's great. Well, here's what's happened since Obamacare came into effect in our state. The president said your premiums will go down. No, they've actually gone up. The president said you wouldn't lose your doctor. No, actually, people are losing their doctors. The president said that you wouldn't lose your health care plan. That's happening. On top of that, Medicare Advantage recipients in our state are seeing their premiums go up. They're seeing their plans change. They're losing their doctors because the money that goes into Medicare Advantage is being rated to be for Obamacare. So, if you want to fix health care, which is what I'd like to accomplish, you need more competition, allow people to buy the insurance they want to buy, give individuals the same tax breaks that you give.
On the Medicaid expansion, what you came out in support of that last year, and that didn't. What's your opinion of that now? Whether Medicaid should be expanded?
What I actually said was, while the federal government is going to pay 100% of the money, I'm not going to stand in the way if the federal government wants to pay for something, right? But I'm not going to put Florida taxpayers on the hook for something like Charlie did. Charlie left me with a $3.6 billion budget deficit. He borrowed $8.7 billion. And you look at a variety of things. Charlie's okay with putting the state on the hook, but I'm not willing to do that. I'm going to focus on what we've done, and constantly improve it. Look at what we did to Medicaid already. We did historic Medicaid reform, where now our taxpayers can afford it, and the recipients have care that somebody's responsible for it.
So you don't support it unless it's fully funded by the federal government?
The federal government wants to pay for something. I'm not going to stand in their way of doing that, whether I agree with it or disagree with it. But I can tell you that I'm not going to put the citizens of our state on the hook for something that I know that they can't afford. And plus, would you trust the federal government that's running, these significant deficits and has $17 trillion worth of debt, that they're going to live up to their side of the bargain?